games, and that's our goal, is to come back and get this thing turned in the right direction, and before you blink your eyes, you're like, they're pretty good. So, any questions?
Coach, I got the opportunity to listen to you and talk to the guys after the game on Friday, and you talked about how adversity introduced a man to himself. How do you think you've seen the guys react to that, and how do you think they're going to react to that statement that you made?
Well, I think that it doesn't matter what phase you are in life. I mean, everybody's going to get knocked down at some point in time in your life. And I think that, like we've always said, I mean, extracurricular activities are an extension of the classroom, and they just teach you life lessons. And hopefully the thing our kids are learning is that they're building some character, because obviously they've been kicked in the mouth a little bit. But, y'all are going to get knocked down. The question is, do you have the guts to get back up? So that's what we're going to find out.
Coach, I've noticed there's a certain energy around the football team, and do you know what it is, or if it's gonna carry on into the next game?
Hopefully it's gonna carry on every day. I mean, I've said it last week. If you're gonna accomplish things, you got to have passion. You got to be motivated to get it done. So you're not going to accomplish anything if you're not energized about it.
What do you say to the parents or students that haven't really gotten aboard your new program and your new ideas and thoughts about the team?
That they're losing out. I mean, it's all in. Get in or get out. It's a pretty simple concept.
Okay, so you guys are going to play Truman, who is coached by Coach Pugh, who was recently a coach here at North. How are the players reacting to that?
I don't know. The key is it's another game for us. I mean, you can't get caught up on who you're playing. I mean, like we've told our players week in and week out, it's not who we're playing, it's how we're playing. So, Coach Pugh's a great guy. I've known Coach Pugh for a long time. We both played at Northwest Missouri State, so I've known him forever. But, inside those 48 minutes, then he's just another opponent.
How did the 42-7 loss to Liberty affect the morale of the team, and how are you using that to prepare for the upcoming game against Truman?
Well, I'm sure if you are a true athlete and a true competitor, you should be a little sick of your stomach. I know I am. I mean, you lose to your crosstown rivalry like that, it hurts a little bit. So, and if it didn't affect you in that way, I mean, there should be some character checking going on inside your own body. But hopefully it motivates them to get things turned around, because both those teams, either Liberty or Staley, if you do the right things, you'll see them. But you have a chance to see either one of them again in districts, and a chance to prove that you've come a long ways and that the outcome could be a lot different. Because that game very well could have been 14-7 at half, Eagles. You got a turnover right there, right before halftime. We turned the ball over on the 5-yard line for us to go ahead, and then it ended up changing, and then we come out second half with a lot of mental errors right off the bat, which I've got to figure out why that happens to us. But
this was a while ago, but at the Raytown game, towards the end of the game, we came back and we had the vibe at the end of the game was definitely different than it was throughout the whole entire game. So how are you kind of pushing towards having that whole entire attitude throughout the whole game?
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, there's flashes where we play really well, and then we seem to lose our focus. We just got to find a way to make sure that we're putting that all together for 48 minutes. Because, you look and there's flashes of every game that we play how we're capable of playing. But for some reason, we have kids that tend to drift mentally and make huge mistakes, and it costs our team. And we kind of pointed those out yesterday in film.
Coach, something else you mentioned on Friday after the game was that you'll die before you quit. And do you see that in some of your players, and how do you think that kind of amped them up a little bit?
Well, I think if you're wired the right way, if your DNA is the right way, I mean, that's the way you are. I mean, it's kind of an inside joke thing, but we always, when the big tap out thing was going on, the wrestling coach was always talking about playing tap out. I'm like, well, the difference is I'm not going to tap out. I mean, there's no tapping out. You either win or you die. And that's the attitude you got to have, and you got to fight like that. And I think we do have some kids on the team like that, and I think we have some kids that are coming around. We just got to make sure that they all understand. I mean, you hate to say it, but I think right now we still have some players that are just happy that they're playing. And you can't be satisfied with that. Your goal can't just be, I'm happy I'm on the field. No, then once you hit the field, then I want to be the best in the conference. Then I want to be the best in the state. Then you got to always keep pushing yourself to be the best. You should never, ever, ever be satisfied, not as a competitor. Once again, thank you for having me here. Hopefully next week we can talk about a W, because I'm sick and tired of talking about losses. I can promise you that. Thank you.